Welcome back to part 2 of the series on high power pellets in 177. So the last time around I looked at the 8.44s, the 10 grainers, and I couldn't find the exact spot at where these guys were happy or not too happy. So today we're going over to the even heavier things, the 13 grainers and up, and also a slug to test. Hold on to your hats. Okay, so this is new for me as well. It's the first time I've got a 177 gun that's got enough power to shoot these exact Monster Diablos redesigns in 13.43 grain. So I'm going to run them through power setting 1 to max, and the reg is set at around about 90 bar. I've got the 600mm 177 barrel in there, and I've got a clover leaf silencer on front. Let's see what they do. Wow, that first batch was just awful. Alright, it's 620 feet, but you could see that thing going through the air like this, like a fish in water. Let's try them at a bit faster speed. Alright, looks like I found a speed for them that works great at around about 828 to 830 feet per second. That was a one hole grouping at 30 meters, and I shot about 8 shots into that. The one thing that did irk me a little bit was that the magazine didn't want to load every time. I had to tap it a little bit for the pellet to move on and get that. I had to, in golf we call it freshies, where you pull the trigger and there's absolutely nothing. So I had 2 freshies in there. At slow speeds, absolute rubbish. Don't even try this in a sub 12 foot-pound gun, it will not work. Around about 828 feet per second, that's where they started to group. So what I will need to do is I'll have to up the power a little bit on this gun to see if I can't find a decent grouping at 900 or 950 feet per second. But that will not be today. I first need to do the 50 meter test with the current settings. Only after I've done everything with exactly the same settings can I up the power a little bit. But I'm not done yet. I've got 16 grainers as well, so they will be slower. Let's see what they do. I don't expect a heck of a lot. They are a heck of a lot heavier, and I expect them to be a lot more slower. But this is not the redesigns, although this looks like a elephant enema on a good day at least. But I've got nothing to lose. I've got time, I've got air, I've got paper. Let's do these 16 grainers. Alright, so these Monster redesigns is definitely not built for a sub 12 foot-pound gun. They only really started grouping here about 15 foot-pound all the way up to 20 foot-pound with an immaculate grouping there at 828 feet per second. 8 shots in that little space. Ah, that's what I like. Alright, let's go a little bit heavier and bring the speed a little bit down. Time for some real heavy stuff. So the first thing about the Beast Diablos, this is basically as close to a slug as you're gonna get. That is a solid piece of lead. Only difference between this and a slug is the point. The point is slightly different, but this is a solid piece of lead. So let's throw this lead. I'm not gonna waste time on power setting 1, 2 and 3. They're gonna be way too slow. I'm gonna jump to power setting 4, 5 and max and see if we can get anywhere close to the target. So let's see if these oddly shaped slugs, no other word for them, actually fly. No luck so far. Let's try maximum power. Oh my greatness. All of a sudden they group at around about 790, 785 thereabouts. One holing at 30 meters. Alright. Only conclusion I can make is, Gert, you need to up your gun speed. These guys are going to be a lot better at higher speed. So again, for the sub 12 foot-pounders, don't even load them. Alright, you're going to use this basically for sinkers at home. Time to go and measure up those shots, give you guys the final results, and then I've got a little special package I'll show you guys just now. You would have probably heard in the sound effects that it takes a little while for these pellets to reach the 30-meter marker. But once they hit, what a solid thunk. They really hit with some immense power. 16 grainer at 780 feet per second. That is some serious hitting power. Alright, so that is a decent grouping at a little bit higher speed. I really need to up the gun. I really don't want to push this gun hard because this is a 177, but I'll probably have to put that regulator at 120 or 130 bar to get the speeds I need to test these babies a little bit further. I'm actually nervous shooting these slugs. I would love to see a manufacturer do well in the 177 category when it comes to slugs, because I do think that if you can get the BC up from 0.03 to 0.05 or even 0.06, that will make a massive difference in bucking the wind and having a pellet or a slug that you mainly do pest control with. So I'm a big hopeful believer, prayer that the manufacturers get it right. So this is the H&N hollow points in 13.68 grain, and this is for the first time that I'm able to shoot them at a bit decent speed. I tried in my sub 12 foot-pound guns, not enough oomph to get them to stabilize, so let's hope that this powerful baby can stabilize them and we can get a decent result. These slugs are so tiny. They are very difficult to load, believe it or not, even in an open magazine like this. This looks like mouse droppings, I promise you. It is so petite small. They fit very nicely into the mag though, that I must give them credit. The challenge with these extremely small slugs is the actual process to get the O-cave correct for the face, to get the hollow points correct, to get the manufacturing process correct, to get the lube correct. So there's so many variants, and one of the things that I've learned about slugs is that the backside of that slug is crucial. If that thing is not perfect every single time, forget about any type of accuracy. While loading these, they look quite well made. So time to let them rip. Come on, Crony, work for me. Right, after a couple of sighters, just to make sure I hit the paper, let's rip it. Oof. Right, I overcompensated after I saw that first one at such a slow speed at 620 feet a second. Aimed a lot higher for the next four. Almost grouped, but let's try again. Holdover is going to be key. As the speed builds up, so the accuracy follows. Let's hope. That, my friends, is unfortunately not what I wanted to see. Those were running at 826 feet per second. I still think that that is still too slow for these slugs. So when I up the gun for the 13 and the 16 grainers, I'll up it again for the H&Ns as well. If I look at my initial findings, they don't like slow speed, and we know slugs need faster speed. So on a sub 12 foot-pound gun, they are not going to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to test the other babies quickly at 50 meters. Then I'm going to up the power on this gun to shoot these slugs at around about 950 to 1000 feet per second to see what the stabilization is at that speed. So for today, that's all from me. Final measurements, final roundup, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Right after I finished this video, I tried to up the power on the FX a little bit, so I had the regulator up to 110 bar, but it made a very small difference in the speed. I don't know if the transfer port is too small or what else I need to do. I upped the hammer tension, I upped the regulator, I opened up the valve,
I just about did everything I can to up the speeds. Maybe time to give the guys at Patriot a call to see if their technician can get this gun to shoot these slugs at a more appropriate speed. Well, that's me. Until next time, like, subscribe. I'll see you soon.
That's all, folks.